Hi there, guys. How you doing? Wow. There was a major screw-up here. I recorded this next section on my other character, and it completely failed. The recording did not take, I did not notice what was going wrong, everything screwed up, and I had no usable footage at all. At all. So I decided to go back to another character, because this is an area that you can't really repeat. You can only do it once, and with all of the stuff in it, or else it'll already be completed, and I can't show you what to do. So I decided to go back and do it again on another character. So I found one of my other characters in New Game Plus that was kind of close to this point, so I powered through it and got to this point to try to record it again. So hopefully this is going to go well. This is Drangleic Castle, and it just looks amazing, as I said before. You have two Mastodon Knights here. I'm not crazy about the placement of these guys, because, you know, it's just two gigantic enemies stuck right in the middle here. It kind of works, because they were, they're guarding the door, but it's kind of hard to fight these guys. But they did have this stuff in Anor Londo with the Sentinels, so, you know, I mean, it makes some sense. This is not representative of the difficulty level of this section of the game in regular game, obviously, because this is New Game Plus, I believe, 4, my 4th trip to Drangleic, so things are a lot harder. They're considerably different in how you would have to approach them. And there's also a guy here that is not there during normal game that's about to come up, and he is a red phantom with a huge mallet that normally we would not be seeing until we got to the last area of the game, or almost the last area of the game, the Dragon Shrine. So hopefully this will kind of be... Oh my god, he got me right in the face, and I was facing the other way, so you can get hit in the back of the head. This guy is actually fairly tough, because that hammer he has is no joke. Although, it is a joke when we get it, because it's so crummy. Oh my goodness. I like that it knocks people down, but it makes them immune to the next attack. Shit. If you're having trouble with this guy, just keep running, because I think he stops when he gets down by the Emerald Herald. Oop. Hope I don't hurt the Emerald Herald. What happens, I wonder if you can get her gravestone. The Emerald Herald. I think this guy only spawns once, I think. Ugh. The Red Phantoms in this game. I haven't talked about this because really the Red Phantoms appear in New Game Plus, but the Red Phantoms in this game, especially in that fucking DLC section, are insane. They're have ridiculously high health, they're very tough, and they flask repeatedly. It's obnoxious and irritating, and I don't like it. Now here we have the gate to Castle Drangleic, and over there we have a ton of Royal Swordsmen. There are only 2 out here at first, but they will begin to spawn from over there, and begin coming out, I think, in infinite number. I'm not sure about that, but it seems like that. And the trick to getting in the castle is you can't open the door unless you see here these golem creatures. What you have to do is kill a creature next to one of these golems. And then the soul of the enemy, you'll see, will go into the golem, and you'll be able to get into the castle. This is considerably more difficult in New Game Plus. More of these guys spawn, I believe. It's pretty difficult. Oh, no. Oh, no, oh, good. I want to keep this guy that I can one-shot alive as long as I can. But I hope I can get over there, because there's more spawning already, see? The golems were created by King Vendrick. Oh my god, there's already a 3rd one. Oh, come on. They must have programmed it intentionally that way. The one that I could one-shot ran off to the other side. It's fucking ridiculous. Come on. He ran off to the other side. And this is... I'm kind of inexperienced now with New Game Plus. I'm going to try to lure this guy over there, but it's really hard. They get so cagey when their health goes down like that, and they charge at you when their health is up. Stupidly have this on when I should not. Come on. Come over here. Were they running back around now? And you have to get both of these. Jesus, where the hell are they going? I know there's a little pit where they come out of back here, but Jesus Christ. Come on. This I did much quicker on the regular run. This is only tedious because it's New Game Plus. And I mean, I have a very high level character, like 220. And I, 50 strength and 50 dex, and it's still taking me forever. Oh, Jesus. Come on. Fucking hell. God damn it. If I died there, I would have been so pissed off. I'm sorry about this, but I got so pissed off. So pissed off when I lost all of that. And over here you can get Great Combustion. Great Combustion was one of the best spells in all of Dark Souls 1, but since they nerfed Pyromancy, it's not important. And now, hopefully, yes. I got scared there for a second, because apparently in the early parts of the game there was a glitch where this door would not open, even if you had these guys open it up. And I think if you do one of these guys and you die and you come back, he will still be dead. I think. I'm using the Fume Sword, which is from one of the DLCs. These guys can follow you in here, which is really obnoxious because we're going to have to talk to a character in here. But let's hope they do not. This is Chancellor Wellager. He was the King's Chancellor, and he is some sort of ghost guy. So he's really, really cool. This is one of the parts of Dark Souls lore that I love. I actually think it's the best part in the entire game, and the only part that made me really feel like they got something perfectly right. Let's talk to him now.
Who are you? And by whose permission do you stand before me? This castle is the domain of King Vendrick. Is your trespass intentional? His Highness. Where has he gone? You are a guest of our castle. I am the Chancellor, Wellager. Do you seek an audience with my lord, King Vendrick? Unfortunately, His Highness is absent. My lord, the King, has... The Queen has taken him. My lord made magnificent findings on souls, an accomplishment for the ages. He vanquished the 4 great ones and built this kingdom upon their souls. Our king has watched over this land since ages long, long ago. King Vendrick, we must fight back, or the giants will take Drangleic. The king had a dear queen, a woman of unparalleled beauty. Long ago, the queen came to us, alone, from a faraway land. She warned our lord of the looming threat across the seas, of the giants. The king crossed the ocean and defeated the giants with the queen at his side. The king commandeered their power and created the golems. With the golems, the king created this castle to celebrate victory and to show his love, his gratitude to his queen. The queen brought peace to this land and to her king. A peace so deep, it was like the dark. Is this some sort of a dream? Where am I? What has happened to our castle? Who are you? And by whose permission do you stand before me? Welcome, visitor. Our guests are treated with honor. This is the way of our castle. Tell me if you should require anything. Gone so soon? Be safe on your travels.
Hello there, guys. I'm sorry about that cut there. But that really threw me off when that footage was not saved, and it screwed up what I wanted to do here. I'm sorry about that. This is my regular character. As you can see, I've changed him up quite a bit, because I got the Hide Knight set. And I managed to do that by using Bonfire Ascetics way back in the Forest of Fallen Giants and the Lost Bastille Hide Knights. And I got lucky with only 3 Bonfire Ascetics. I got the chest piece and the leggings. Other times I've done that, and it's just been insane. I tried 7 or 8 times and simply could not get the Hide Knight armor. What I had assumed what would happen when you were playing the game originally is that you would automatically get the armor when you killed the knights in New Game Plus rather than their weapons, which is what you should do to make it easier, but you do not. You can sometimes get the weapons, and sometimes you will get nothing, or you will get a repeat of the item that you already got. You'll get another sword, another Hide Knight sword, Hide Knight lance, Hide Knight spear, or randomly get one of their 4 armor pieces. They also have a square-topped helmet, as you saw with the Hide Knights, that looks like the one Solaire had in Dark Souls 1, but I did not get that. And since I really like this set, I think it looks amazing, I'm going to be wearing it for a little while, even though I like my other set a lot too. I'm still using the Mastodon Halberd, but now I'm using the Cleric's Small Shield, because it matches with the gold of the Halberd here. We just heard from Wellager. He is a merchant now, and he will sell us some pretty cool stuff. The Flamberge is a great weapon for dex builds. It's not as cool as it was in the other games. It was a cool weapon in Demon Souls, but in Dark Souls 1 they really didn't have a Flamberge. What they called a Flamberge in that game was actually essentially a large crysknife with a wavy blade, which is not the same thing as a Flamberge. Originally, I think this, before the patches, was pretty crummy because it did not have what the Flamberge in Dark Souls 1 had, which is dex scaling. But I think now if you get this up to +10, you can get it to an A. Unfortunately, bleed, which this has, is no longer an important effect like it was in the other games, and is kind of irrelevant. So you don't really need this, and especially because you can't really buff the Flamberge, so that really reduces its power. We also have the Lucerne Hammer, and the Lucerne Hammer was one of the best weapons in Dark Souls 1. You can get it very quickly at the start of the game. A lot of people loved it, and so did I. Unfortunately, they kind of screwed with it in this game because you can't get it right away. You gotta wait till the 50% mark of the game, so you can't build your entire playstyle around it. And I don't really like what they did with the moveset with this game, especially because, like with the Black Knight Halberd, it no longer has the cool overhead chop thing that it did before. Bracing Knuckle Ring +1, may want to think about that if your weapons are breaking down. He says an unlimited amount of magic and lightning arrows and bolts, so that can be very useful. And sells an unlimited amount of repair powder. This they might have changed. I don't remember it being unlimited before. I thought it was just, I thought you could buy like 10, and then, much later in the game you can get an unlimited amount, but maybe they changed that. I'm not sure about that. Okay. And of course, because this is Dark Souls 2, he randomly has a spell. Now this guy changes significantly in Dark Souls, in New Game Plus. Because in New Game Plus, he will sell, New Game Plus Plus, so that's your 3rd playthrough of the game, he will sell a bunch of unique spells and items. He, after you've completed more of the game, will sell the weird original items that you could get as part of some DLC, like the Black Flamestone Dagger and other things. They're just weird, sort of icky-looking modifications of regular weapons that I don't really care for. So, I don't really bother coming back for them. When we defeat the Giant King, and yes, we have to go back in time, I'll reveal now, and kill the King of the Giants at one point towards the end of the game, he will give us an amazing rapier called the Espada Ropera, and a really cool dirk. Man, I love Wellager. He is so cool. He's also wearing probably my favorite armor unique to Dark Souls 2. It is amazing. It's called the Llewellyn armor, and we can get it later on in the game. And it is really, really awesome. We meet some new enemies in this area called the Cyan Knights. I think I killed all of them over here, unfortunately, because I had to come back up here from a bonfire, but I might just, but there are more of them in another area. Is there more of them here? Oh yes, there is one here. And I think it's a sword one. They're armored knights with really cool golden armor, tower shields from the Hyde's Tower of Flame, and swords. They are not especially tough, though, because they're pretty slow. And they can pretty easily be parried. I'm trying to do this. Look what happens. Yeah, I'm not sure why that happens. I don't know what sword that is. It might be the Black Knight sword? Is that what that is? This is the place in the game where I actually started parrying more successfully. What sword is that? I wish they stayed. The bodies really need to stay. It's ridiculous if they don't. When you come in here, you'll find two of those guys. Here and right out here. And one of them over here with some Royal Swordsmen. There'll also be some Royal Swordsmen in here. When you open this door, you can actually sneak around the ones down there. And just leap down. Just jump down. Don't even bother climbing down. It's not that far a drop. This has been a pretty big criticized area of the game in that this really seems unfinished. This seems like an empty area. Like this is nothing. It's just a door to nowhere. And over here there's a door, and where does it lead? It leads to Nowheresville. I've seen some people do funny stuff with this door in invasions. They like led someone in there during an invasion and closed the door, and there were two guys hidden inside, and they just ganked the guy and killed him. But, well, it just doesn't feel huge and magnificent. Like you really felt in Dark Souls 1 and Anor Londo like you were in a gigantic celestial city. Now, the Royal Swordsmen are going to follow you down here. I'm watching you guys. I'm watching you. And if you head over here, you have to open this door, which takes a long time, open this door, which takes a long time, and light the bonfire. And as long as you've lit the bonfire, even if the Royal Swordsman comes in here and kills you, it's going to be alright, because you can just go back right to this bonfire. This is the door where we go to fight the final boss of the game, but not just yet. We have to go later on. I'm going to rest at this bonfire here and then talk about this room. This next room we're going into has a lot of enemies in it. And it's kind of confusing, it's kind of annoying, and we have to remember that principle about the golems before and the souls entering into it. To our right, there are three, I believe three. I think it's 3 doors. And to the left, we also have 3 doors. And at the end, there are 2 golems. Don't worry about those guys, they just light up the room. That may have been important in an early version of the game, but it is not now. Immediately over here, if you take a look, there are, I think you can see them, maybe, 2 stone statues as we just passed a few feet behind us. However, these stone statues will come alive and try to kill us. There are 2 kinds here, both with spears, one that is dual-wielding it, one with a shield. The one that's dual-wielding is actually faster and a bit tougher. And what we have to do to open all of these doors, you see the door itself actually looks a bit like a golem, with that center part there, is we have to kill one of these guys near a door and get in there. If you're not interested in any of the items in here, all you have to do is open up that door immediately to the right. Because that's where we need to go, and the rest of it is just items and kind of unnecessary stuff. Of course, when I first came in here, I went immediately to the left and went counterclockwise around the room, and it took me to the last door to get there, which was stupid. Now, what I try to do is run up and smash one of these guys as early as possible and kill them near the door and then run away. Which I can do. And and that door will open, and we need that door to open to continue with the game. That's really the proper path. But there's some other stuff here that I wanted to go over. These guys can drop their spear. It's called the stone spear. I don't know if it's especially good. Now, often when I play the game, I just don't care about the rest of the room and keep running through here. But I'm going to go into the next area because there's actually some useful stuff. This next door, however, we have to be very, very careful about because there is a ruined sentinel inside the door along with the item that we are looking for. And be careful when you're fighting. Try not to fight in this room because if you back up too close over to there, you are going to open up, those guys are going to wake up and try fighting you, and you're going to have, like, 10 of these guys at you at one time. And we're going to open that door, a ruined sentinel has come out, and hopefully we're going to kill both of those stone guys before he really gets out. Hopefully. If he doesn't, we may be in serious trouble. Have to be careful not to wake the next set of guys. Those stone soldiers, by the way, have an aggro threshold of around here. So if you come back over here, then they're pretty much just going to give up. So you can run down here, you can run into that room, and you can just run away from them. And we do want to lure the ruined sentinel. Well, maybe we can fight him in here. I don't know if that matters that much. This guy's got a fair amount of health. I have the covetous gold serpent ring on just the off chance I may get the armor, because I don't remember ever wearing it. I may have gotten a bit of it. I think this is where you get the armor. I'm not crazy about the headpiece there, though. But then again, I'm not crazy about a lot of the helmets in the game, which I think are kind of lacking. They look a little odd. Mastodon Greatsword. Oh, I love this guy. He really brings back the memories. I love this Mastodon Greatsword. This will eventually get up to, I believe, an A with strength. And is just a magnificent strength weapon. It's got a great moveset. It's fairly strong, and it's just it is a little bit heavy, but other than that, great weapon. Really recommended. All right, let's try the next area. And I'm out of life gems. That's not good. Ooh. This next door is the item that everyone's going to want in this room, no matter what their build is. Because it has the Royal Soldier's Ring +1 in there. So it can be very useful. Come here. Come here, honey. You can get a little annoying here when I'm trying to kill the guy in the exact right spot, and maybe I miss. Oh, okay. It's already open. What I think might have happened was that the death of the ruined sentinel, the soul automatically went over here and opened him up. That might be what happened. But I'm not really sure. I really wish we can get that shield, because it actually looks pretty cool. I'm a big fan of classical history, and so I like shields that maybe could give me a feel of being a hoplite, which, again, I understand this is supposed to be a game that takes place in the Middle Ages, but we do get a weapon, a series of weapons that look like they're from the early modern world rather than the medieval world, and that was a distinct period. Nope, no items. I think I'm gonna keep it on though, because I want to we're gonna fight some more of those Cyan Knights, and I want to farm more of them. And this has greatly increased our ability to move around. This is going to be very useful. I really don't know what to do with it because I don't know what helmet I want to use. I guess I'll use this one. I actually like the regular knight helmet better than the elite one because you can still see a face. And we can see this guy's epic mustache. Now immediately across from us is another door. Those two doors over there, the first one on the left, the ones I first went into, useless. Don't bother going into them. There's no need. One contains a Pharaoh's Lockstone, and the other one, I don't know, junk. And we're going to go into that room and run in there in just a second. I think their spears are actually pretty good. I think you can get their shields, too. I'm not sure about that. You see he lights up the room now. He turns on. He's got a little torch there. But we're just going to jump down here, and the floor caves in, And we've got a mysterious hidden area. This is actually where we continue the Covenant of Dark path. And this guy might have fallen in. Yes, he did. But it doesn't matter that he fell in. Even if we die, we got the bonfire. That's all we really needed. There's also an item behind us. That's the signature armor of the game, I guess you could call it. The Faram armor. The one that was in all the demos. I actually do not care for it aside from the headpiece. I do like the headpiece. It looks cool. You can kind of look like a Cylon when you wear it. But other than that, yeah, it's not that great. That armor that you get with it, it actually looks a lot more like pants, to be honest, than armor. Not like these with, like, metal leggings on it. I'm really failing here. Come on. I do believe that these guys are just, the Ruined Sentinels are just animate suits of armor. They're not really, there's nobody inside them. Just a soul animating them. Yeah, and that's it. And, I mean, I'll show you the helmet. Where are you? There it is. Definitely like that, because it looks pretty darn cool. In fact, I think I'm going to wear it. But yeah, forget the stash. I'm going to wear this for a little bit. And here we have Darkdiver Grandhal. And I think I'm going to continue on with the Dark Covenant maybe in the next episode. But before I go, I want to talk to you about some of the things that we heard our good friend Chancellor Wellager say before. And Chancellor Wellager, again, I love the guy, was apparently the Chancellor of the King way back when Drangleic fell. And he personally has seen the King of the Giants. And I don't know if we ever learn exactly how he died. I have a feeling that the Giant King killed him, although I can't be certain about that. And when the Giant King, when we kill the Giant King, he gives us some items. Now, some of the things Wellager mentioned, that was a huge lore dump there. One of the things he says is that, just remove this here. One of the things that Wellager says is that the Queen, who we're hearing about for the first time, because all we heard about was the King up until this point, but apparently the Queen is an important figure, had come to the kingdom of Drangleic from a faraway land and married King Vendrick and warned him about the looming threat of the giants and essentially began this war. Now, what exactly happened, we're not really clear. Were the giants going to be peaceful and she just lied and wanted him to go and attack them anyway? Or were they going to attack and she helped them by helping them launch a preemptive strike against them? Or what relationship does she have with the giants? Was she at war with them beforehand, or her people or something? We don't really know at this point. And we're going to learn a lot more about that later on, about why she did this. We do get a really big hint there when Wellager says that probably my favorite line in the entire game, that she brought on a peace so deep it was like the dark. And I love that because it really adds a kind of unique quality to the lore here. Because in Dark Souls 1, we learn that fire is essentially a symbol for life. Fire is the fire to live, to work, to fight, to strive for something, to seek something. It's all of the glories of life. is embodied in that fire. And in many ways, life is being symbolized here with war and conflict, because life means taking hold of the world and engaging with it and practicing what you preach and really going out there and living in this world. However, the dark, which we're taught is evil at many points in the game by many of the traditionalist type characters, the dark is portrayed as something very different, as being evil, as being withdrawn, as losing something about life, as pulling away from life in some way, or removing yourself from it, and in many ways could be related to peace. So I kind of like that. Light, which is traditionally seen as good with fire, is actually in this case can be somewhat negative because it represents conflict and war. And dark can be good because it represents withdrawing from the conflict and violence of life and finding peace. Or it could be saying that peace, in many ways represented here by the dark, could be something that is evil, because you are giving up on life and letting everything die. But it could also be a good thing that you give up on life, because it means you're embracing peace. But it's maybe the inactivity. Love the shadows in here. Dark is sort of the, if you remember Dune, where the king says if something sleeps inside of us and the sleeper has to awaken to change ourselves. And maybe embracing the dark is embracing this lack of change with the world, and fire is bringing about change, but it could be violent change and dangerous and scary. And the dark may seem good but really isn't, but maybe you're embracing peace when you bring the dark. So bringing those two concepts together of light and dark and peace and war, life and death, dark is a representative of death. It's a lot of fascinating things going on, but I think I'm going to continue that in the next episode. Again, I'm so sorry that everything got jumbled up, everything was mixed up, and I was unable to do this in a joint episode, and I had to split it up with something else, but hopefully I got the point across about this area, and we're going to continue on with Chancellor Drangleic next time.